Welcome everybody to the Rally Cry podcast. My name is Angel.
And my name is Tyler.
And you guys are here because you want to learn, you want to grow, you want to move past the past, and you want to go into the future. But right now, we got to focus on the present. And presently, right? Pun intended. We're going to talk about holiday blues. You already know, you click this episode and it's about talking about the blues, right? I think around the holidays is where our feelings get a lot more amped up because we want to be around family, friends, our loved ones, all those things. There's
some
presents.
hot cocoa. Don't forget that.
Yeah, you want hot cocoa. You want to be laid up with someone. You want to be booed up, right? It's hibernation, right? All those things. You just want to be with that person that makes you feel like whole again, whatever it is, right? You just want to feel like the
those
gift.
Movie scenes that you be seeing, like you got the How the Grinch Stole Christmas, how he started so cold but ended so warm, and that's what you want to be with somebody. You want to be warm. Why not?
Exactly. And if anything, if you want to celebrate even further than that, you want to make sure you got your coquito, but with someone to share with. You know, if my Hispanics out there, coquito all the way with
Yeah,
the
and shout out to my local Dominicans as well, because if it's not the coquito from the Puerto Ricans, you got the Dominicans as well. So either way, your local neighborhood is gonna have it regardless.
That is so true. So we want to talk about the holiday blues because I think everybody gets it. It's completely normal. So if you're listening to this, don't feel like you're a victim or anything like that, because everybody has the kind of feeling where, their family is not the way they would like it to be, but it's also because of what we see on TV, right? We see what's on TV and we try to compare by what's on there, what should be coming to us. So
bars.
Thank you. I feel like I'd be doing it by accident, but I think
bro,
it's just
you're spiritual, bro. It's because you're one with nature, so you're gonna just ride the wind. You got
it's Dr. Seuss season, because the Grinch. I be watching the Grinch all the time, and around this season, I be watching it like on a roll, like binge watching. So it's probably just that time where I'm always rhyming. I don't know.
Guys, I could definitely say, before Angel gets to the very first point of the segment, I also want to say that there is such a thing as anniversarial depression that goes along with holiday blues. And we can get more into that later, but just remember, anniversarial. So this happens every year.
Yes, and I think that could be a lot more personal too, depending on the person too, right? So we're definitely going to talk about that, because that's a big one too. So what do people normally do on holiday blues? And I want to talk about this because a lot of times, we see people do these things, and you could even be that one person that have done it. I don't know. I'm not saying any names, but I'm just saying, like, it's a thing that people do. And what happens is that when you're sad and you're depressed, you kind of resort to a temporary fix. And so some of those temporary fixes is going back to something that you were used to. And I don't know who done it. I don't know why would you do it, but I just got to say, there's people out here that will go back to their ex around the holidays.
That's tough. And thing is, we all have our experiences, regardless of what age you are. Me and Andrew are both 25. We have those experiences where second chances seem a lot more tempting and beautiful during the winter. Why is that? Why is it that when there's a celebration or a holiday, it seems like, why not? Let me just put a patch over this by surrounding it with other things that don't go with it. Okay, there's good music. People are vibing. People are having a good time together, celebrating, wanting to dance together, wanting to be connected together. And you want to bring back somebody that recently didn't want to connect with you, or if already a period of time has went by, and now you want to try to bring that connection back?
Yeah. I think people do that too. Is just because, like, since so many things good is going on and all this celebration and family and warmth, they had that kind of feeling with this person. So they go back to the way they felt with this person, and they don't even think about what it was in the first place, why they broke up with them or why they were broken up with, all these things, right? So is the matter of like settling to something that you were used to. And it's normal to understand that these are things that happen. It's not discrediting people that have done that. And who knows? It could be a story where you go back to them and then something actually happens with that. Hey, that's a gift right there. Who knows? But I would not recommend that at all. Do not do that. I don't think that's something you should do. So let's not do that.
That's
Another
like
thing.
you know what that reminds me of? That's like
What?
trying to bring the family member to a family event that nobody wants around. So like let's say the drunk uncle
Mm,
or maybe the aunt that has a new boyfriend every time she comes around, and like and there's some comments like whether it's within friends or family, it's like bringing that person that nobody really wants to suggest to invite because it's like there's always something that comes with it, and that could be considered baggage to some
yep.
people, and others could look at that as like, I love them enough that I'm not going to exclude them out. So that's also a thing, regardless of who you are. But it's also understanding what kind of people that you want around, especially for this time of year. This is supposed to be beautiful, less hectic, no drama, and also peace.
I completely agree. I think with that being said, sometimes people don't know how to do that. And, first is kind of understanding your own boundaries and being aware of your own feelings and all those other things. One of the other things that people also do during the holiday blues is being away from family and friends. And even
Mm,
if it's where you don't have the luxury of having family and friends, some may excuse themselves of not wanting to go outside because it's too cold, or just whatever the excuse is. Like you can bring out your North Face coat, whatever coat you got in the closet,
Tommy Hilfiger,
bring it out.
Nautica.
Yup.
Don't forget about Timberland. Now we can't forget about UGG. UGG, they be having some good stuff. You want to keep your feet warm. I don't recommend their practices and how they make the shoe, but they keep your feet warm. Don't forget the ACGs either.
Yeah, exactly. So we're just trying to give you whatever solution to your excuse because I be hearing a lot of people saying, "Oh yeah, now it's just too cold outside. I'm not really trying to do anything." What do you mean? Like that you staying inside 24/8 is one of the reasons why we as people could get depressed because we are social creatures, and yes, there's introverts and extroverts, but like essentially you want to have a little balance of hanging out with the people that you love and you care about, or people that uplift you, not people that bring you down. Like Tyler was mentioning, is like about having the people that are around you that are empowering and not breaking, like putting you to pieces. You want to be in peace, not in pieces. So
Hmm.
yeah, so being away from family and friends, and because if it's cold outside, but also maybe bad experiences, feeling pressured to buy gifts because oh, I don't know what to get this person, I don't feel like I want to go over to grandma's house and I don't got nothing for anyone over there, but they might get something for me, so now you feel guilty and all these things. So there's a lot of emotions going on during the holidays because of what you don't have, what you can't give, and it's all based on these expectations. And where does these expectations come from? It's by society, it's by maybe the culture. That's one thing too. How is your family? So there's a lot of things going on, and you can't change your family because that's not something we can ever recommend, right? But you can change the experience. You can be aware about what it is that is in your family or what is about your friends that you can tolerate, and to a degree. Tolerate is to a degree, not where you get walked all over, but to a point where it's like, okay, I can be with this person for a certain amount of time. And after that time, I think I will have to switch um with someone else, right? And hang out with them. Like if I have half my time with family, half my time with friends, and maybe a little bit of time with myself, and that varies depending on who you are as a person. So I don't think you should pressure yourself for anything. If you are a person that like staying home, at least do something at home that can make you more happier, right? There's so many things we could do, and we're gonna talk about that. So understand that when it comes to getting gifts and getting gifts too, um it's not about what's underneath the tree but the people that are around it. I think we've heard that quote before.
Oh yeah.
So don't worry about the gifts part. It's just about the people that you're hanging out with, and if you are able to do certain events, then that's cool, and we're going to get into that. So
and
I
and
think
al- also I would like to say too, like another thing that uh I can say some people, especially like if they may have a bad experience, like I've seen it, like some people go so far to decorate, and that's not saying that we have to go 110% with decorating and like the entire house, like even the outside of the house has to be decorated. But there are people that are so committed to that that it sets an environment that everybody's more warm to the welcome, and they feel like they're a part of a segment that, like, hey, this is like the winter wonderland type of Christmas. Like whether or not you're in an area that does get snow, so you can have the white Christmas that everybody dreams of, like you see in movies, it's also the idea of like how warm and inviting can this place be, for whether it's for myself or whether it's for people to come in and join, or if I'm going to somebody's house or even an event, it would be nice to go somewhere like somebody put their hard work, time, and effort just to let this become something of what it's supposed to be, a year of celebrating, a year of being grateful, and a year of being able to appreciate others, not only through the time given together, but also with presents if you can afford it. If you can afford it.
Yeah, and I wouldn't also want anyone to pressure themselves just because it is around the holidays. I think sometimes we can be overly gratituding the people that we're with, like, oh, I should just be grateful because, this is my family, these are my friends. But, sometimes like you can't be grateful um for people that can harm you in a certain way, right? You got to be
Mm,
mindful of that. You can't just justify the holidays for the people that are in your life, right? If there's someone that disrespects you and all these other things that make you feel uncomfortable, friends or family, then you don't want to justify that. It's the holidays and there's expectations to think that nothing should go wrong, everything should go perfect. And with that kind of expectation, you're not being realistic because perfect isn't real and real people aren't perfect. So you can't expect for something that is within someone not to go, like, nothing is going to go wrong, like
mm,
if it's having certain questions being asked at a family. A lot of times, if, let's say, if you're single and you might have certain questions asked, like, oh, when are you going to get a girlfriend, right? Those are questions that some people be asked. That's the typical question. But if you could prepare yourself for these kinds of questions, then you get a little bit ready for the holidays. Like, what are these frequent questions that your family or friends ask you so often that you can try to get ready for it? And then it'll be at least less pressure for you um to not feel like, oh, I have to have the right answer. And you always want to be honest. You don't want to just beat around the bush because that's what makes it worse. You just got to be honest to a degree. So if you prepare for it, you'll be a lot more ready for it. So I think that
I
that is
love
one of
that.
the things, right? I
Yeah,
never thought of that myself.
I love it because it's also like the idea of like how perfectionism is like surrounded by how Christmas should be, and like this whole gimmick that everything has to go right, when in that case, if anything, it makes us super sensitive to the idea of anything that goes wrong. Like, let's say, like grandma asking, like, "Hey, when are you gonna get a girlfriend?" And and I become defensive because it's like, "Why are you my business?" Or why does that even matter? Like, at least be grateful that I'm here. Is that what matters? You don't even care that I'm here. Now look at how defensive that comes off, and it's because I didn't prepare myself for that. And also that has to do with how I am internally. Like, am I also upset that I don't have a girlfriend right now? Do I feel alone right now? And these are just great questions to ask yourself, because when you can ask yourself these things, you can know better. And the more that you know, the better you prepare. And the better that you prepare, the better that things go. So I think there's a sequence of things that naturally have to happen, but because we skip so fast to the main event, like that's why we miss out on so many details.
Yeah, I agree. And as much as we're talking, I think we already talked about it already, right? We got making plans, right? That's the first step that you want to do to stop the blues, right? It's not to say that they're just gonna go away like gone, right? It's a feeling. Feelings are up and down, so you got to be aware. Like, you might feel sad here and there, but you don't want to put attention to that. Let's have the attention on good things, good vibes. So first thing is you got to make plans. So plan ahead, right? Planning ahead for FAQs, most frequently asked questions in your family or friends, right? That's one thing. You can make plans for your friends, right? Make a group chat. Make this group chat and plan ahead about where are people's schedules like, their availability, and plan something. There's so many things we can do, right? Tyler, there's ice skating, right?
Oh, there's ice skating. You could have a snowball fight. You could create snow angels.
Yup.
You could, what else? You could try to hike through a 4 foot snow, because I mean, hey, when you have a
I mean,
snowstorm, you got to do what you got to do. 2 pairs of socks, 2 pairs of sweats, two
hey,
coats. So like, you do what you do. You can watch Christmas movies. We said that earlier. You could
yup.
binge watch Christmas movies. How the Grinch Stole Christmas. You got Christmas Carol.
There's a
You
lot.
got you got Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer. Like, we got all these movies that, whether it's on TBS, any type of streaming platform, they're going to play it nonstop. And the Christmas jingles. Why not have a listening session still music that you want to listen to, but the Christmas carols, Christmas jingles, celebrate, enjoy. You could build. I mean, hey, Angel, when was the last time you built a gingerbread house? Be honest.
Ah, I'm not gonna lie, probably like 3 years ago. It's been a
Okay.
minute, but I might change that this year because I was thinking about making one myself. Because why not?
Well, hey, don't kill me on sight. But I got to be honest. I have never built a gingerbread house. I never had the experience. I never did. However, I have made some great snickerdoodle cookies. Snickerdoodle cookies are great for Christmas because they got cinnamon, and if you have
Mm,
eggnog with them or
mm.
coquito, you'll be straight.
Oh,
Just saying.
coquito.
Listen,
Amy,
guys. I'm just saying.
that does sound pretty good. And so, okay, all right, I love that, and I'm taking notes myself because Snickerdoodle does sound good. So yeah, hey guys, if you're listening, you might want to check that out. But okay, so make plans, right? And you make plans in many ways. You get ready. You wanna preamp yourself for the holidays, and we're already getting into it. We're like midway into December, and we already got people in shambles right now. Like, I don't got enough money to buy gifts, and oh, I'm not ready. I'm not done decorating. So it's like, okay, take it easy, take it easy. You got this. I believe in you. We we gonna help you, right? So make plans, plan ahead, make a group chat, find availability. That's one and two, right?
Mhm.
And then of course, third step will be making a budget. You're gonna be having all these events. You're gonna be with family and friends. Think about how is your friend group or family group, and how are they when it comes to spending money, because more than likely when you are around people that spend the money, you're going to be more likely spending the same amount of money that they do, because it's just called social influence, right?
Mhm.
If everybody's going to go out to eat to this restaurant and they all say, oh yeah, let's go here, you're gonna go, you know what I mean? You're gonna be like, all right, bet, everyone wants to go there. I can't be the black sheep and be like, oh, I don't really like this, and they're just gonna look at you like, so you're gonna go, right? So think about your budgeting and how much money you want to spend. If it's on the weekend, weekday, whatever it is, everybody's circumstantial. We can't make a set list and budget for everyone because everybody have different pockets, right? Some are small, some are big. So I think those are like the top three things, right?
Mm.
And then we think about, okay, what about if I'm a person that don't really like doing much plans and I'm more of just laid back? That's perfectly fine. We already said watching movies. You can gift yourself stuff too. Buy yourself presents. I've done it before. If you don't have anyone to buy you presents, you can treat yourself to a spa. One thing that I love doing, right,
Mm.
is listening to music. You could put Christmas music just because of the holidays, but put that Christmas music on and look in the mirror and dance in the mirror. I'm telling you, I be having a blast dancing to myself all the time, and not just Christmas music, but to any kind of music. I be going in, and if anything, I think that's where I learned to do my dance move, despite like teaching myself because of YouTube. Shout out to YouTube, but yeah, you can
Like
do those stuff.
I could definitely say, like, I mean, especially for my Hispanics out there, we all have grown up in the family house where like there's a bunch of people coming to the house. We got to make room. Our rooms got to be clean, even though nobody's gonna be in our room, and we have to like
Yep.
dress up, even though like we're not going out and there's snow outside. So like if we're not going outside, why are we dressing up? But hey, either way though, it's the point of getting right for the occasion and also being able to appreciate the amount of liveliness that's around because there's so much to do that it just makes you feel warm inside that everybody is just being able to socialize together. So rather than going to the bar or a club and you're socializing and around with people that you don't know, think about the kind of chemistry and hopefully for those that have a good relationship with their family members and especially friends that could come to these family gatherings, being able to have fun, feel grateful, be happy, and be in the moment. Don't focus on like what could happen and like how a certain thing could make this go bad or anything like that. But just be able to relish the fact that things are slowing down right now and there's not a worry in the world that's gonna come in and barge in on this family gathering. And that's just something that I think that could have fallen out of tune, especially like how things have changed over the years. And now, I mean, especially after COVID, there's probably people that don't want to go to anybody else's house. So if you're not already living
Mm.
at that house, or maybe if the house, depending on how big it is, nobody wants to have too many people in it. So the element of how Christmas is celebrated, I think, has changed over the years. I could say that I appreciate when there's food being cooked, drinks going around, people are having a good time, conversating. You got couple different TVs going on. You got the game watching. You got people playing video games. Just a lot going on. But chemistry with family and people that you share a relation with, your bloodline, and all that. I love it.
Yeah, I agree. It, again, I hope you guys, really got something out of this. I just want you guys to understand it's normal to feel a little down during the holidays. It's okay to feel a little blue. We're just letting you guys know you don't want to stay there forever. You don't want to keep putting the attention about all the negative things and start putting your attention to positive things. And it could be the smallest things. You could buy yourself a tree if you don't have a tree, but you can decorate the tree on your own. I decorated my tree on my own and I put music. You can set the environment for yourself if you don't really have the luxury of friends and family, because there's people out there like that. But if you do have friends and family that you would like to, spend time with, then it's always about making that first step, reaching out. And I know sometimes we may feel like, oh, I wish they would reach out to us, but you know, you can't expect on how you give that other people are going to give back to you the same way. What you give is the giving itself. You can't
Mm.
expect that your own giving is also going to be what other people give. You know what I mean? And that's what makes us all different, because how we show appreciation is different how other people show appreciation. Even the same way of how we see appreciation. So right now, just see the appreciation for what is, and what is it that you're trying to do to have a better holiday. New Year's is then coming. We're going to have New Year's resolutions. We hear those all the time. But right now, you got to have that step on building that relationship with your friends or family, and especially yourself.
With all that being said, that just goes into show like when you could lead by example, it's a domino effect. Everybody follows by that. It's almost a regimen that doesn't have to be expressed vocally. Everybody just sees that and is like, okay, if this person is doing it, regardless of what, having an optimistic mindset and being able to see that, hey, like things happen and it's okay. And we've had experiences or stories that we've said on this podcast, like when me and Angel were going to the weekend concert, we thought we were going to be late and catastrophe could happen. Like, damn, like our money, and
Yep.
then like how much are we gonna miss? Da da da. But like, why harp on that when just be grateful that we get to go to it? And if there's something I want to say about anniversary depression, things like trauma and scars, whether they're physically, emotionally, or mental scars, they stay with us. And also within those experiences is the mark of time. And when that time is stamped with that experience, and let's say you had a bad breakup from a long term relationship that you had, or let's say around this time of year you lost a family member, or let's say around this time of year you broke your leg, or something that made this time of the year bad, you're going to feel that feeling later in life. And whether it's a year, 2 years, 5 years, maybe even a decade later, you could feel that feeling. That doesn't mean that's who you are. It just means that these are emotions that could come by. You just have to remind yourself that everything's okay and everything's going to be all right. And being capable of doing so means that you are also aware of like where you are at in life, and you're not stuck in the past, because we want to live in the present.
Right.
So in this time of year, as cold as it is, don't be cold to yourself. Keep loving yourself. Keep guiding yourself the way you want to. Keep having that discipline, and continue showing love to your family and your friends. And with New Year's resolutions coming right around the corner, commit to things that you know you could commit to, and don't give yourself or anybody a broken promise. Nobody
Right.
needs any of that.
Yeah, don't overcommit. Yeah, guys, I appreciate that. I really do, because it's a good refresher to tell yourself these things. Um, and again, it's normal. So we really hope you guys got something from this. If you like what we said here, please leave I like it. Really helps us out. Lets us know that we're doing something right. And if there's anything that we missed out on, then let us know either on our Instagram. You could DM us on the Rally Cry podcast, and you can even comment if you're watching us on YouTube. And make sure that you subscribe, so anytime when we post an episode, you guys will be the first to know. So yeah, guys, we really love you guys. It's been such a journey really doing this with you guys. It's been about like a year
And
and
some
some change.
change. I'll
It's
say
gonna be
like
2 years in January where we have this podcast, and learning how to get all this information and have some guidelines just to make a change is big. So for all of our people that's been with us so far, and if you are new, we really appreciate you guys and hope that your holidays go swell and splendid and warm, and make sure you got that hot cocoa. And by the way, you know, if you make it homemade, it's a lot better. Don't get that powdered stuff, okay? So yeah, guys, we appreciate you guys. Until next time, one step at a time.
Oh, my bad.
One step at a time.
One day at a time. One step at a time. Keep going.
Yes.
Love you guys. Appreciate
Peace.
you.